Okay, we're on top page 8. So we talk about the difference between in the Chatzi Eagle. He discusses the difference between Koyach and Klal Prat. That, let's say, the Pnimis HaChachma, that is the Yuli. חיצונית, כמו זה אסכולה דרך משהו, וזה הפנס כלל הפרט לגבי הפרטים כבלמנה, שזה מה שנקודה נפרטת לפרטים. The kinds of כלל פרט is like we learned also in the המשך portion of סמכי, that the כלל הפרט means that אין בכלל מה שבפרט. The כלל הפרט are really, the part is really an extension of the part is an extension of the cloud. So you can say that the part exists within the cloud. Like the Gemara says, I'll call Aveda, I'll sell Salma, I'll call Aveda. What did it say? I'll call Vapesha, I'll call sell Salma, I'll call Aveda. So the Gemara says, I'll call Vapesha is cloud, and I'll sell Salma, that's part. So the part is called in the cloud. It's a called Vapesha that includes the prat. So the cloud includes the prat. The cloud is more abstract. Ashenk in the Yuli, Kamoy, there's another dogma. Kamoy, Beishis Maimakor, when if it'll doubt test Mamoris. The Gemara says, Basar Mamoris Nivoilam. About him. Look in the Psukim, it only says Vayem Elikim 9 times. The Gemara ends at Beishis Name Maimel. The word Beishis Baralim is also considered one of the Asar Mamoris, but it's a difference. It doesn't say Vayem Elikim. Yushamayim V'Oretz says Beishis Baralim. What's the difference? That's Tzmayim HaKloli. In the Potim, it's when you say Beishis Baralim, the Tzmayim HaKloli, it's killed all 9 because all the other creations are really an expansion of the first part, of the first Maim, which is also like Klal Prat. Similarly, when you get to Nekudas Chitzonius HaChachma, Chitzonius HaChachma is also Klal Agabe the Prat of Bina. מכל מקום הנקודה נבדלת מהפרטים שגם לאחר הסוג, הנקודה עצמה למעלה מהסוג. On the other hand, he says the nekuda, which is the klal, is nivdeles מהפרטים. The klal is nivdel the part. It's in a different level. It's a higher, it's more abstract. והמשל דציור הוא מבחינת פנימית חכמה בינה, אין מבחינת הנקודה יוליס אסס, כמו מבחינת כלל הפרט. See, there's two משלים. There's the משל of the ציור. משל of ציור is more like a yuli. Like you said, the ציור means that the Gvan Lovan has within it, in the state of a yuli, all the other Gvani. That's the appearing that the other. So Mele, so the way it's included, the way it's contained within the source, it's in a way more abstract than Klal Prat. Because in Klal Prat, the cloud contains the Prat. But Shenk and the Yuli, it doesn't even contain it. It's not there at all. It's more abstract. Components, all this all bunch of Chatzei Eagle that he went into intricate differences between the types of between Klal Prat and the Yuli. But going back to a point that he's making here, he started with the says Shatna Pirion also does a Torah Shritul Imay, that's Bina, Zera Pina says Bina Shemetzayat Tzir Prespotis. So again, as opposed to Chachma, that he said earlier, the Chachma that is Reishis Agilu in a state of Nekuda, Mashengen Binas Tzayat Tzir. There's already a shape and form, Prespotius, individual, specific shape, Befan Agilu, Seder Shtashos. from the Madrega of Bina, everything is in a state of tzir importing, individual and specific. So Bina is the one that determines and defines the way the Gilui will be in Seder Shtashlis. So that the remes actually is interesting remes. Says Kabbalah, no. Kulam b'chachma. Sisa b'bina. The word sisa, I'll be the pshat, I'll be the Siddish pshat, Kabbalah pshat. In Kulam b'chachma sisa, the word sisa really doesn't apply to chachma. Kulam b'chachma, they're all contained in chachma, in the state of nekuda. A sisa, that's already b'bina. The actual execution, the development, that happens in bina. Okay, do the ikam makar shtashalo so b'chinas bina. The ultimate source of shtashalo is dafka in bina. Zeh mashabah b'chinas potis. Ma'ach yochel zgaz b'olos. So that is bina. So we describe what bina. Bina means this that stage, that level in the Gilui Likus, which defines the specific shape how the elements are going to operate. So we described what is Yud K. But it says, but both of these madrigas, Chochma and Bina, even Bina, that's still above the elements. So that's Merum is another Maimah Chazal. Alpayim Shana Kod Mater Elohim. They're preceded the Olam. Alpayim Shana was the number Alpayim. The Ein Prince Aleph Chochma Aleph Bina. That the Alpayim is a remez of the concept Aleph Chochma. I'll teach you wisdom. Aleph Bina. I'll teach you understanding. So Aleph means these two madrigas in Meichin, Chochma and Bina. Kamay b'mashal. So you're going to take us back to the mashal that we learned earlier on page Gimel. What do you learn in the mashal? Shazel kamay shamashpia meshayach nesagil makabel fer pnes mashpia. But even the level of both of them, Chochma and Bina, it's all in the mind of the teacher. The way he imagines, he estimates within his own mind what the students will be able to understand. So just like in the mashal, we're talking about the way it is within the mind of the student. It's the same thing in the nimshal, that Chachma Bina, that's the Adayim Afer P'nes Atzma themselves. It's all within Kaviyachol, the mind of Atzma, which goes to Betzayim. B'Chachma Meir in Sof B'Kirov Mokim Be'erach K'may P'nes HaKesach. So there's a famous Eitz Chaim that B'Chachma B'Kirov Mokim, B'Bina B'Richok Mokim, so we see here that in the Chachma is the kill of Makim. It's considered, it's proximity. Begam Bina, Bina is Richuk Makim. Also, even in that Eitz Chaim, the first Eitz Chaim, he brings there's the lashon Richuk, but even that he says it's still within the Ein Sof. And the truth is, in other places in Eitz Chaim says, but it's Chaim Shamim Aleph, Shamim Zayin, because of the Ba'avom Meir Bekir. That in both, not just in Chachma and Bina, also it's Meir Bekir. V'vo Makom Acher, Shezeh B'chinas Avoy Loin. Haina etzem B'chinas Chachma Bina, V'avot Atayim B'chinas Yisrael Sabot Tvuna. So it brings in another discussion that sometimes it says that that Navoy Loin is Bekir, Navot Atoyin is Berich. small makom. What's it now? Avoy learn about that. In avo abba ve'im chachma bina. 2 levels. Before it says in other places, it says avoy learn ein etzem plus chachma bina. Avoy learn the higher abba ve'im. That is the etzem. The etzem chachma bina. There's an expression, it's a concept, not that common in Chassidus, but sometimes we talk about, it's taken from Zohar, that's a concept called the soil Sova, the grandfather, Tvuna, in Kabbalah, different Bina, and Bina is the inner, the higher level of Bina, and Tvuna is the lower level.
So what's the expression of Israel Sava? Why they use it? I mean, what's the connotation?
It's not with you. That's nothing to do with you. The Sol Sava Tvuna. There's a concept in Kabbalah called the Sol Sava Tvuna, which is the Chitzonius Avo. The Chitzonius of Abba Ve'ema is called the Sol Sava Tvuna. There's Chochma and Bina, and there's the Sol Sava Tvuna.
Is there any reason why they would do the Sava? It's used in here? I mean, is there any difference to that?
What's the question?
In other words, why they use this expression of Sava, Israel Sava? I mean, it's external.
Why it's called Sava? I think it's connected with somehow it Yaakov. Yaakov was grandfather of Hashem. So Sava. You know what? I'll try to find a better understanding. What's the cause of that particular expression? Ksham does my morim that talk the difference between avoy and avot atoin. Over there, Zapnas Yud Havai. Over there, it talks this to Madregas. It's stuck in the Yud of Shem Havai. The Etzem Yud of Nes Chachma V'Amila V'Dalet Nes Bina. The Yud itself has 2 levels. There's when you write the letter Yud, you write it out. There's the Yud itself, and then the Milui, the 2 letters, the hidden letters, the Vav and the Dalet. Because the word Yud, the word, not the letter, the word Yud is made out of 3 letters: Yud, Vav, Dalet. So the Yud, that's Chochma, name is Chochma, and the Vav, Dalet, that's Bina. Vuprin is Atzilus of Atzilus. So in other words, those my morim that discuss the difference between that say that means avoy loin. So with that pshat avoy loin is go within the yud of Shem Havai. But in our Maimer here he wants to explain the yud k, the bod, the yud and the hey. So b'derech klal, the word b'derech klal in my morim, sometimes means that in that generally speaking, that's what the generally speaking, that's a little detour. What?
No, sorry, it was a mistake. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So to summarize, he wanted to first he brought the point that Chochma and Bina, Yud K, they're all within the Mashpia, within the Ensof. So first he brought from the Yitzchaim. The Yitzchaim says that Bot Avo are the kill of Mokim. So the Chagav, it's almost like a detour. The Chagav, sometimes Chassidus says that Avo Eloi, that's go Yud Shem Havai. And now Maimah we're talking about Yud case. He says that's stuck in that particular place. That's how he explains it. But usually, but the Avo Eloi means Chachma and Bina. So going back, so even not only the Vav Dalet of the Yud, the Hey of the Shem Havai itself is also part of the way it's within the Mashpia, within the Eretz of itself. Weiter. Omnom Prinas Vovke, then we go next. We're going next. Prinas Vovke, what are the next 2 letters in the Shem Havai? Vovke, in Avov, Amshach V'Gilui. The Vov itself signifies the concept of Amshach V'Gilui. Just like a Vov is a line, it comes from the top to the bottom. because of Vaniglis law. Like this, what earlier the person from Tikkun Ezra says, I start to have a kind of Vaniglis law no Vaneno. So Vaniglis is a rem is Vov Hey Niglis. The Vov in the Hey are both in a state of Niglis, that even the Vov is Niglis. Va'ainu Chinas Hamidis. What does it mean in a different way to look to explain it? There's nothing of Midas. Yud and Hey, that's Chachma and Bina. That's the Meichin. But the Vav, that's already the Midas. She'ena Meichin for Atzar and so. In the Midas of Atzilus, there's no, it's Eina Meichin Atzar and so. The same level of Atzar and so that shines, that it's expressed in the Madrigas Chachma and Bina does not exist, does not shine within the Midas. Always partial Dovat. What reaches the Vov, what reaches the Midas is only always partial Dovat Hashem Avayo. Kamoy, everything Mechna Midas bottom Lamata. So you're taking a marshal, the marshal from Adam Lamata, from the human experience, that is what it is the Mechna Midas. Moichin Moichin means the way the person is on his own, without relating to the outside, the way he sits in his own bubble, so to speak, and he analyzes. So the concept of Meichin means the way the person is within his own being. The concept of the emotions are only the relation to the other, to the Zulas. So that's one difference between Meichin and Midas. Meichin is la'atzma and Zulus. Midas is l'zalos. Meichin is the way a person analyzes the world around him in his own world. He can sit in his own closed room and analyze the world. Midas means the way I feel about the world around me. So that means that I take the world it affects me. I'm affected by it. So that's the way you take the world personally. So that's description number one. That is Meichin Midas. But Gam, there's even a deeper way to define it. But etzem also I'm mecholokim. I'm mecholokim Midas ma'ameichin. The essence, essentially, there's a difference. Sha'amidas is morgish, Meichin is muskel. So it's another definition, morgish and muskel. But we learned I think it was in the Hemshech version of Samachay, other places. Three stages in development. Mudba, morgish, muskel. Mudba means instinct. It's something instinctive. Morgish means that you feel, and muskel means the way you perceive it with your intellect. So here he says that this is called morgish, it's called muskel. That's muskel.
Morgish means more about you. You're not so connected to the source.
Say it again. What?
What's the difference between morgish and muskel? Muskel, you are bottled to the source. Morgish, you are more connected about yourself.
Yeah, right. That's true. But see, but the way, okay, what you're saying is true. But I think all right. But he just says what? Amit is a muskel, it's morgish is muskel, all right. So really, the truth is, he said two things which the way essentially they're saying the same concept, but he broke it into two parts. One is that's la'atzma, that's zulase, and one is morgish and muskel. So the way you describe now, it sounds almost the opposite, because morgish means, forget, morgish is more yeshes, muskel is more bit. The way he said it here is the first one is morgish is la'atzma, the sechel is la'atzma, and the rebbe is zulase. I mean, they're both true, but the question is what he wants to bring out two different points here. He's pointing out two differences between emotions and the intellect. In the world of the intellect, as that's my number one. Also, it's muscle. He doesn't give us really.
I think it's exactly its feeling.
Yeah,
Means that you don't feel yourself. It's you are herumgenommen mit der Sechel, but when it is also you are disconnected from.
Okay, fine.
You feel that like you are this the source for the thing. I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's similar as Lamaila and the Nimshul. It's the level of Zoh, just like the midas in the human being, in the marshal. The midas, same thing when we talk about Milo. The spheres of Zoh, which is the Vov of Shem Havaya, so that's the obvious thing what we said earlier. That the Zoh Lamaila is similar to Midas Lamata, it's only B'Shvil Azulas. So it means the Oich L'Tzerich Ha'olamis. It's not the ultimate Gila, it's Oich Chitzain, it's B'Shvil Ha'olamis. Zer the Avov B'Rosh Yud, that is also Merumas. That's alluded to in the fact that the Vov Shema Vai B'Rosh Yud. How do we write a Vov? First, there's a Yud on top, and then comes the Vav. What does the Vav mean? Shuklas Tzimtz. Yud is like a dot, and here is what part of the dot is he stressing here? That the dot is a Tzimtzum, that it's that everything is it's only a tiny dot. There's no expansion. Shat Tzimtzum shemisamtzum misalim etzem. So that signifies the point that it's only b'shvil ha'olam. It's only the Chitzain. The kol shekain, he already jumps to the next prinus. Kol shekain prinus amach shoknis ha'od ha'olavad. Malchus is even further away from Zoh, which he doesn't say the Nimshal, the Marshal, but like we learned in other places that learned in other places that Malchus is compared to Dibu. Dibu is even further than the Midas. Midas is like emotions about the other. It's still within yourself. But Dibu is mamish outside. That's relating to the other. So that's how there. Nimtzo Shpinas. So the general point he's making here is Abisia, the Vovke and the Yudke are two different worlds. Pinas without Sacraments ain't the Pinas at Samashim. Shelimda Tzerich Helmus, ein Etzema and Atzilus. So, in other words, it's ein Haname, the Oyer Atzilus, the Chachma Bina, is also the Tzerich Helmus, because the whole point of creation of the spheres is not Helmus. But there's a huge difference between the weights in Chachma Bina and the weights in Zohar, which is Vavke. But that's Mamish Tzerich Helmus. Like going back to the marshal from before, he doesn't mean the marshal here, but the marshal before, they said that, if you remember in page Gimel Dalet, so that the teacher first in his own mind he has the Nakud and the Ispashtus, and then the next step he actually starts thinking about how to apply it to the Makabel. That's a whole new level of descent. Same thing in the Nimshal. There's a difference between there's an etzema shel tzeichlemus. I press etzema that tilts. Close that tilts from the Olavad. Now it's a hamatz. The truth is that even there's of that tilts itself. It's also only all about alma. Oh, the man of hamatz. Even that the spheres of Atzilus, which is Atzilus, which means even Chachma Bina. It's also only an external minor expression of the Saf HaMatzah. Like in the marshal we said earlier, the Rav, before he starts thinking about teaching the students, so that Bechal is in a different world, in his own world. The whole process of Yudke Vovke, the way it was described, that's after he assumes the the role of being the teacher. So only then he starts the whole process. But before that, it's not betufia for the Talmidim. So the same thing in the Nimshul, the whole Atzilus is also Levad. He brings again the Mashli, but it's already. It says in Pasuk, in Paraloischo, Vayotz, V'atzalti min haruach hasholach v'tzamti aleim, Vayotzel min haruach. What does Vayotzel means? Is a fasha tan shein me'ach vos meish mamash. That what the Skanim got, the Skanim in that time of Moshe Rabbeinu, that was shaloi be'erach to what Moshe was. They didn't get Moshe's nevuah. It's only a very minor reflection of Moshe's nevuahs. Kayadua, so it goes back to another in the Nimshul. In this language of Kabbalah, we say that Atzilus itself is also only Tana. It says in Kabbalah that what happens in Atzilus, the Kav itself, is not made directly, is essence in the Atzilus only. I know it's in other words. So he uses another way to describe the difference in the way the Eir is in Atzilus, and the way the Eir is above Atzilus. It's only Metzius, not Mehus. In other words, what's most the level of Eir that is captured, that is grasped in Elam Atzilus, it's only the Metzius, not the Mehus. You know all the difference in Metzius and Mehus.
Say that in Atzilus it's Mahus, no?
You're right. Okay. You're right. A lot of times, okay. Like I say, relative to the Biyah, Atzilus is most. But nice is, on a deeper level, Biyachas to the Kav, Atzilus is also only Metzius. That's okay. Usually we learn that Atzilus, Biyachas to Biyah, Atzilus is most, and of course, and Biyah is Metzius. But here it brings from another place and says that sometimes we talk about Biyachas to the Eirach Kav, Atzilus is only Metzius. Let's see what he says. So it's in another place of says it's brought from the Pardes from the Ramak. Shlamata ideas Metzius ain't feel ziva Atzilus. That Lamata in our existence, in our world, in our reality, the ideas Metzius of Elikus is not even a ziv, not even a ray. Lamaila Ametzius zeu ziv me'atzis. Vaina v'atzilus meo mosek mehus aziv. Stuck here. There is mehus. But mikomo kaze ziv all of that. It's interesting. First he said it's only Metzius. So contradictory the Lashonis. You know, he starts saying that that Natzilus ain't the Mahusar Amatz of Metzius. But Makamacha says that Natzilus may Musik Mahusazi. Komakoy Malzaor Nasil Baolavat.
But are you saying Ziv Mehasmut? It doesn't say different. It doesn't say Mohus. It's saying Ziv. It is the Ziv Mehasmut.
Yeah, but the guy say Vaina Batil's Meo Musik Mahus Hazi. Okay, so this line I still have to read to understand. More importantly, the Zebnis Haosh by that Simts. The hour that reaches that Silus comes to a Simts. Shum Zebnis Haosh Bob is Gas Chutz Letzim. שזהו עניין אצילוס. העניין אצילוס is the hour שמחוץ לארץ. ולכן בכלול חולוסי כנסאי לא ירסאי למס. So the oil that reaches אצילוס זה אש לא ירסאי למס, שנמנה לפי ערך איף נאילמס. שזה מה שיוצא חוץ לארץ, והנה כמו העצם. ורק לפי איף נעצם לא כמוי העצם. Then sometimes Chassidus says that there's איף נעצם and the עצם itself. Look, like it's a lot of places in cities we have this back and forth. In other words, on the one hand, we look at Atzilus from the perspective of Biyah. Atzilus is a likus, most a likus. Like Kelim, that's most a likus. But we look that's from our perspective. But from the higher perspective, Atzilus is already that level of a likus that relates to elements. Like we explained earlier, why did they to create Atzilus and also to create elements? Just like in about earlier on the top page, Dalet, that why did Moshe Rabbeinu matzil to the Skanim? They should be able to only bossa. They should be bossa. In other words, from a higher perspective, the Ola Tzilus is only.
It's not the oid. It's the same thing, not the oid zois. That's the bill.
Okay. Okay, but again, I agree with you in Indian, but you have to understand mashma here that it's two different steps. One is with ziv bilvad, and the other thing is tzimtzum. The concept of tzimtzum is another point that he didn't make till now. It can be a hora bilvad at target tzimtzum, and it is not only that a hora bilvad, it's also a to tzimtzum. It just adds another layer to the to express how Ilam Atzilus is removed from the Etzem oil. So I mean, again, in Havana, it's very subtle difference. But the pale, it's two different definitions. One is the Azer Levad, the Tzev V'Oidzos, the Tzimtzum. It's a different. It's not only a Ziva, it's a Ziva. It comes to a Tzimtzum. Like we learned what?
So the Mahus is the essence, and the Mesiut is what?
Mesiut means only know about something. You don't know what it really is. Just know that it's there. You don't know what it is. That's Mesiut.
But in Atzilus, it's not so. In Atzilus, it said Meir umusad mahus haziv.
Okay, so yeah, that's what's interesting. It said mahus haziv. Come as a ziv alvad. You don't know the mahus of the. Let's say in the marshal. Let's say in Shemesh. Masik the mahus. You know what the light is, but it doesn't. You don't masik the mahus a Shemesh. Mahus haziv. That's the key. The key word is masik the mahus haziv. But the mahus that you masik. It's only the most of the ziv, not the most of the essence. So, the ziv, the oil comes to tell you the blagalis gile hamor, right? So sometimes you only know the metzius ziv. You see the ziv. First of all, the ziv itself is a whole balm. So it can be a sagas metzius ziv, it is mohus ziv. Mohus is a higher, deeper level of perception of understanding the godliness. So these are all stages and levels in how a likus is expressed. So you have the tzimtzum, you have the ziv, koponim. Okay, these are like subtle differences. We still have to develop a language that we can relate to it in more tangible ways, but the general point is made that what he's saying is that Atzilus, what he's stressing right now in the Maimar is how to show us how Atzilus is all already in a state of relating to elements. The whole like it says, we learn in other places. What was the point? Why did I create element Atzilus? We should be able to relate to the course. That's okay. Atzilus. So Atzilus is really an act of, it's like in the marshal of the teacher. The teacher already thinks about the student. It's a teacher that wants to teach, so he starts thinking about the student. And so the first stage is in his own mind. So yeah, it's like in his own mind he's thinking about the student, but it's not the way he's on his own. Oh, so Mele, when I get in your name, he says, so Mele, he says, Lachen ba'il zeh yesh be'Yishalkus spheres. This is why in Atzilus, they have Yishalkus. There's already division. There's already a certain level of descent and division. The Cholos Yishalkus, the Gimel, this is a way Shem Cholkim Adas Kanal. So we have these 4 levels of Yudke Vavke, where in Atzilus, because all of them signify the concept of the Yerida. The Eibishter laws himself, Kaviyachol, that means it's not he, it's only an external expression. It's a ziv, to a tzimtzum, to put himself in this position that he is relating to Nivoim, to reality. Vavov Kesh, when it's a Gil, I don't miss any kind of Yud Kesh when it's Etzemar. So it made us, since we have the division of the spheres of Yud Kesh Vavke, so there's a difference within that level that relates to the elements. Within that level of Atzilus Gufa, you have the Vavke is more relatable to the elements than the Yud Kesh. But it's all within the Yachas to elements. Avol, but in the higher level above Atzilus, there's of Hamatzil. That Madrigal itself that emanates, that Atzilus comes from, the source of Atzilus, in that level, there's no division whatsoever. The Kolam Madrigas are B'Shavet. In the Madrigas above Atzilus, everything is equal. It's the pure expression, pure revelation of the essence of the Eibishter, the essence of Atzilus himself. So in that level, the Oil and the Etzem are equal. So in that level, above Atzilus, there's no division. So we have a marshal to that. What's similar in the human nature? So when they get to the form of Madrigas of Yudke Vavke, we made a marshal of Chachma, Bina, Zom, Meichin, Midas, Mashenke. The earth of Hamatzel, which is above his chalkus, the marshal to that is the Rotz. In our experience, this flow of Rotz, which we call will, or willpower, or drive, interest, can be individual interests. I take it for Rotz. The take of the strength, the power within the Ratzon is equal in any Ratzon. Like if a person wants to do something, or a person wants to analyze something intellectually, which the actual doing, the walking, let's say, and think and understanding a deep idea, they are very different. In other words, the acts are very, very different. But the rotzen, the interest, the desire, the will to do it, they're equal in both. You want to do this, you want to do that. The want, the rotzen is equal in both. So the way the oil is above Atzilus, all the Madrigas are equal. וגם האור the Atzilus, שכל מלוכם הם משחלקס. So the way the oils of Atzilus, the Atzilus says the oils, each sphere has its own oil, but the way they are in their source, they're equal without any division. Which causes Sefer Yitzira, and that's Merumas in what it says in Sefer Yitzira, as a sphere is bli makish aleves akshor begacheles. Sefer Yitzira compares the essence spheres shaleves akshor begacheles, just like a flame is connected to its coal. What's the marshal? What's exactly the marshal of shaleves akshor begacheles? Kamoi begashmis, similar to the way it's in the physical world. In the
of Shalamayla Mishtalsalus is also Atzilus, right?
No. What? Wait a minute. Lamayla is above Atzilus. Atzilus is Shtalsalus. Lamayla is above Atzilus. The whole point is he wants to show above Atzilus. Atzilus, you have the Yud Kei Vav Kei. But above Atzilus, there's no division. So he says, Shalev Zakshor B'Cheles, K'moi B'Gashman Zak, Shalev K'shishor, or Tmuna B'Sech HaGacheles, V'ada Chodim Imo, Eine Nika V'Nika L'Shalev V'Sliyesh V'Dovo. When you look at a burning coal, when you look at a burning coal and you have the fire that's contained within the coal, the fire is inside. It says, "Eine nika v'nira ashaleves liyesh v'dov b'fnei liyesh v'dov." Lo yesh ba ischalkas v'gaven lovan l'tcheles kim oyakel v'achod. Before the flame comes out of the coal, the way it's inside the coal, it's a pure heat, it's pure fire, but you can't see the difference in the fire between the colors of the fire, the blue and the yellow, blue and the white, like Chassidus talks about it. And I think I remember that saying even the Gemara talks about it also. There's the light. When you burn a candle, when you look closely, you see the light that's closer to the wick. It's blue, which is called the Uchma, the darker light, and the light that comes further away, it's more white or yellow. So what he's saying here is the way it develops the muscle here is that Shalevas Akshor B'Gacheles, the flame is within the coal. You can't see a difference between the colors. They're all equal. That's what he says. Eine Nika לא יש בו ישחקוס ונגוון לובן תחילס אקה לא ילא חודים. אחר כך כשיצא השלס נאמר לה גילוי, later when the flame expands from the coal, אזי ישלב זה במציאות, then you see an actual flame, במילא בישחקוס גוונים. So we have the different colors, lovan, tchelas, v'odem. Yeah, when you look at the fire, there's also a reddish part. Choice was so when that fire is within the coal.
Lovan. Tchelas v'odem. What's lovan?
Lovan. There's also white. There's white and blue and red. If you look if you pay attention, look at the candle burning, you'll find this three, the way he says it, three types. Usually, see the stocks Neir Uchman, there's Neir Tichlan, what is the other one? There's white and blue. There's also red. It should, when you look at the fire, it's fine red. Now, I know it's negay, all these details. The point is there's a division. Love and Cheres V'Odem. The way the colors are in the flame that's within the coal, you can't see there's no differentiation. They're all equal and they're all you don't see it. And you don't see them. Okay, so
הגוונים. That's interesting. אם היה שיש בו הגוונים.
Yeah, but it's there and it's there, but we don't see it. That's what he's saying. Yeah. Okay. So it's another interesting way to apply the concept of the Sefer Yitzir says essence feels that the essence feels in the state of blima, means without any essence, without something tangible. And the Sefer Yitzir says the marshal kashalevas akshur b'cheles. And now this maimer the learns pshat is that when the shalevas is b'seich hagacheles, kshur it learns pshat kshur means with the shalevas b'seich hagacheles. When the flame is not yet out, we don't see a flame. We see a hot coal. When you blow it, the fire comes out. But before you blow it, it's hidden somewhere within the coal. So B'meila, he says inside the coal everything is there, but there's no division and there's nothing is revealed. That's the marshal of Shalevas Akshor B'Cheles. K'moiken Vesas feels that seal. So the nimshal is shehein b'Shalevas Akshor B'Cheles shekoidem shenetzlo is feels. When we're in Sobochu, Shachris betachlis. That is the marshal of Shalom Sakshov Gechelis. It's all in the process of explaining how the areas of Atzilus, the way the above Atzilus and the areas of Amatzil, they don't have this division of Yudke Vovke.
But this is the Aratzim, right?
What?
The oil is the
Yeah.
Achar.
Yeah, of course, the Achatzim. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Shikoyach.